let's talk about the more intriguing topic. The college quarterback the 49ers should get this offseason. The Niners currently are 15th in the draft order. And I don't know, they could go up a little bit, they go down a little bit based on what happens this weekend. Based on the realistic options, who do you think they should be targeting? They could trade up, they could trade down. What do you think they should do?
I'm going to say Trey Lance because of the ability he possesses that you can't coach. You can't coach his size. You can't coach his arm strength, his arm talent, his speed. I love the idea of Trey Lance, the big mobile quarterback with a strong arm. That's who I hope the 49ers target in round 1, and not because of what he's accomplished in college. He went to a small school, hasn't played in a very long time. You're not drafting him because you're completely sold. Well, you should draft him because you're completely sold that he can develop into an elite NFL quarterback, but you're drafting him knowing that he's a project and you're confident in your abilities to guide him towards reaching his potential. And I think his potential is sky high among right there with Trevor, not at Trevor Lawrence's level, but certainly as high as Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, those guys. His ceiling is right up there with them, but his floor is a lot lower. So there's a risk there, but that's the guy I'm targeting in round 1.
I'm beginning to think that none of those top guys are going to be there in the first round for the 49ers. And I know Grant's really big on Trask, but if I was the Niners,
don't give away my answer. There's some suspense. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No one's heard you talk about Trask yet this year. So.
Yeah, I haven't really said that one yet.
Yeah.
No.
But
heard it.
So it's not a quarterback in the first round. I think Desmond Ridder in the second or third round, I think he'll be there, and he's interesting to me. And then late round, I like Dustin Crum from Kent State, because not for a starting material. I'm not saying he'd start in 2021 or 2022, but I think they need to replace that CJ Beathard role of the guy you drafted and you develop for the next couple of years. Because if Beathard is coming back, he's supposed to be the veteran guy. If Mullins is healthy and he comes back, he's supposed to be the veteran guy. You need a younger guy to develop on your team. You can no longer go Brock Ruder route on the practice squad for 2 weeks. You need a rookie that you're going to develop for the next couple of years.
The legendary Brock Ruder. Jack.
Yeah, I think the guy that I think that they might go with, I think the guy that once he watches the film that Shanahan's going to fall in love with is going to be Mac Jones out of Alabama. I think that's really going to be the guy that he's going to like. The more I watch of all the different guys, that he's does pretty well. You mentioned yesterday on Twitter something about the
stronger arm than Tua.
Yeah, he does have a stronger arm. He's also throwing with guys in his face more often, even though he has a pretty good offensive line. So that's one of the other things that I like about him. He has a lot of talent around him too, which makes it easy when you see some of the catches that are being made around him. That's one direction that I think they're going to go. I think, obviously Zach Wilson is a guy that everybody gonna want to go after, but I don't think they're going to be able to get up to that level and grab him. And I don't know if that's just a way they should go anyway. If they're going to go like what Nick said with somebody like Lance, I think in that case you're almost better off, making that call but keeping Garoppolo, because you're going to need a quarterback for about 2 or 3 years before he's ready to play.
I think it's funny. I know a lot. Everyone likes Trey Lance. He's the flavor of the month. He looks like Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. It's the kind of quarterback that teams want. I think it's kind of funny that everyone thinks that's what Kyle wants. I don't read Kyle that way. Kyle likes throwback quarterbacks. Kyle likes Kirk Cousins. To this day, Kyle thinks Kirk Cousins is elite and will never change his mind about that. I'm not necessarily sure that he's had this whole awakening on quarterbacks in the last few years. I still think that he looks at a guy like Kyle Trask and says, that's what I want. I don't care about 40 time. I don't care about how a guy escapes the pocket. I want a guy who can navigate the pocket and stick with the structure of my play and make throws. And when I watch Kyle Trask, I see a guy who has very subtle movement in the pocket, doesn't escape, doesn't look to bail very much, and is just dicing up the best amateur division in the world. So if it translates to the SEC with a pretty shaky offensive line and no run game, I think it'll translate to the NFL with a great run game and a terrific defense on the Niners. I think Kyle Shanahan may not even know much about Trask yet if he hasn't watched him, but when he does, I think he's gonna like him just as much as I do. And the thing is, we both share an affinity for Nick Mullins. So I feel like Kyle and I really are looking at the same thing and we're sharing a mind here. So I know it's going to be Kyle Trask. And if you guys don't like him now, you're going to like him later. I guarantee it. It's like that scene in Back to the Future where he's up on stage and he's playing the music at his parents' thing, and then he starts playing metal, and they're like, they can't dance anymore. It's like, you don't like it, but your kids will. It's kind of like that. That's Trask. Trask is metal music in the 50s, if you'd heard it. Actually, no. He's just a throwback. He's a throwback. I don't know. Okay, that's enough. Hey, here's the thing. If I ever go on a Trask rant again, everyone just start yelling like 15 seconds in. Drown me out. Just make sure I don't do that. Because I do it all the time. I hate it.
You like Child Trask? I didn't know that.
I know. It's as soon as I do it, just be like, stop, stop, stop.